of land from their inhabitants. Just like family, if people have the way they behave, the way they reason. Now, whether they will be small or great, is controlled by that way they reason, and then different lands produce different inhabitants. Let me say it again. It is not possible for all men to behave the same. There is nothing we can use to make all men to behave the same. When you hear Canadian, you're talking about the man of Canada. When you say American, you're talking about a man of America. When you say Nigeria, you're talking about a man of Nigeria. Russia, Israel. Now, if I mention 5 nations, their inhabitants behave differently. Now, God depends on what is in those inhabitants to give lands destiny. Meanwhile, God produces inhabitants from destiny of lands. Vice versa. What I have succeeded in doing is to help you to know the reason that people cry, regret on earth is because of ignorance. They make right choices and blame God or themselves. Because they were wounded by a wrong philosophy. There are philosophies that talk about, that emphasize too much on change. That's wrong. There are debates that go on sometime about seed and transformation. Which one is more important? The debate should not hold. You cannot talk about transforming a man if there is nothing to transform. No, if there is nothing to transform. And those who are very unique and prodigious, they don't wait to be transformed from outside. John, from time, John left family. It was not his father that gave him advice. John ran away from the house and went to the wilderness. On his own. He didn't wait for a teacher. Because nobody taught him. Nobody should teach him to go to the wilderness. I don't think Zachariah supported John. If you are looking for support. Nobody will support his son to go to the wilderness. I don't think Mary supported Jesus when he was taking the messianic risk. When he saw that what Jesus was saying was pointing to the cross, I don't think that Mary supported it. But Jesus didn't need Mary's support. All I have just said is that, just like the way I am, what I'm doing now is a surprise to my background. That I'm a eunuch, my mother will never like it. Up to tomorrow. If you see her smile, it's just because she won't accept it. If you bring, that's why you should not discuss it with her. Anytime you discuss it with her, she will have pain. She wants a grandson from me. A beautiful young girl. So it's not her idea of me. You see, but I am living this way to represent a land I came from. This is the character of my land. Yes, this is the decision of my land. The land that produced me is represented by this behavior, by this way of life. So a land cannot be great except that land produce great inhabitants. And it is only great lands that can produce great inhabitants. Have you not seen the Bible talk about Bethlehem, Judah? The Levite will talk about on Sunday, Bethlehem, Judah, in Micah chapter 17. David, 1 Samuel chapter 16, Bethlehem, Judah. So why will you play with that? He said to David, he said, fill your oil and go to, let me summarize this way. I wanted to see the sections, or just to bring three of them together. To bring the three things I shared together, very beautiful. God said to Samuel, he said, fill your horn with oil. And then he first mentioned, go to Bethlehem, Judah. That is a land. A land that produces kings. He said, go to Bethlehem, Judah. And then, because that land is made up of a particular family progeny, he said, go to the family of Jesse. And then he said, I have somebody there. Three things. The land, Bethlehem, Judah. And then family. And then he said, I have David. So when you were making that choice on one thing or the other, why did you ignore it? Don't tell me that that land has so much of great men. That is why there's no road to it. Erosion does not spoil road where great men are raised. Great spirits we never keep company with little lives. It's not possible. Let me say it again. I say great spirits will never keep company with little lives. There's a difference between I ask you to come and stay with me. It's different. A lion angel, we never keep company with somebody who is not lionic. Because somebody will die. And then those who are lion, they live lionic. There is something I said here about womb, very beautiful. I was inspired. Please, somebody should listen to me. I was inspired on that, and it was one of the new courses I wrote this morning when I got home. That God separates people in the womb. He separates womb. I also said something that okay, before I go into it, I said nothing can happen without those who can make it to happen. When you say God will do it, you need to look for the person God will use to do it. So don't say God will do it when the person is not around. You cannot say that Goliath will die if you didn't see David. You cannot say that Israel will come out of the land of bondage if Moses is not born. You cannot say that man will be redeemed from sin and Satan will be destroyed if Jesus is not born. The job cannot be given to John the Baptist. Do you know why John was able to say, I am not Messiah? Because John knew that God, in his infinite intelligence, will not give you support of a capacity you don't have. God will not give